Hello, welcome back to another episode of Leointerviews. Today we have Rob Broadhead with us.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes, of course. Let's go ahead and get into it. Tell me about you.
I am a what's called an empty nester. I have 5 children of my own that are all grown. I have 2 others by marriage, and all of them are grown. I've been doing technology for 30 something years, about 35 years, and help companies prepare for using technology better. I have been a big fan and played a lot of soccer over the years, a lot of ice hockey, and have coached, have worked with youth sports, and just all of the cool things that you do being a dad and raising kids.
Oh, I'm also a big fan of soccer.
So who's your favorite team?
Probably I think Miami, since Messi's on there.
Yes. Yes, we have, since I'm in Nashville, they've got a pretty good team. It's newer, but it's real fun. It's good to see professional soccer growing in the States.
What's your favorite soccer player?
Oh, wow. I don't know who I do like Messi a lot. He's probably right up there. Actually, it goes back to who? Because I have I've had several over the years. And every one of there's a lot of the women soccer players. I've always been a fan of like Brandy Chastain that goes back, 20 or 30 years now, that was an Olympian, Mia Hamm and some of those. And then it seems like every couple of years, like soccer's just gotten better. People have gotten so much better that even if you go way back to the classics like a Pele that was great at the time, it seems every generation people are just getting better and better at it.
Mm-hmm. And especially like with all these new I guess different ways to play, and it's kind of hard to keep up these days.
Yeah, they've made it for it being sort of a simple game. You think about it, it's a very hard. It's easy to learn, but hard to master, I guess you can say.
Yeah, because you have to do this, and then you have to do that, and it's if someone's coming at you, you have to do this, and it's easy to talk about, but it's actually hard to do it,
Yeah, there is definitely a lot of it's very athletic. It's very much you have to do it and have that muscle memory so you can react fast enough.
Exactly. What's your biggest challenge and how did you overcome it?
My biggest challenge and how did I overcome it? Probably my biggest challenge was in recent years, especially, was launching a business, then going into launching a podcast, actually, and all of the challenges with that. Because when I did this, the internet was around and things like that, but you had books to read, but you didn't have as much information. So getting started was a little harder. You had to go out, do a lot of research, reach out to people that are doing it, and learn from them. And so it was a very challenging time, and continues to be. But that's also why I love supporting other podcasts. So that's why my business is helping businesses grow and get better. So it's it's a big challenge, but it's a fun one. It's worthwhile.
What's your podcast?
Podcast is called Developreneur, which is develop with entrepreneur mashed together. It's easier called Building Better Developers, because when they went to Siri and Alexa and all of those voice things, that when you tried to ask it for the Developreneur podcast, it had a hard time. So we said, okay, we're going to rename it Building Better Developers. Then it could understand it clearly, and it was a lot easier to jump in.
Where can people find your podcast?
You can if you ask any of your voice assistants for the Building Better Developers podcast, the latest episode, wherever it's been around. We've got almost 1,000 episodes now. We've been around for almost 10 years. There is also developreneur.com, DEVELPRENEUR.com. And then we have a Developreneur page on LinkedIn and on Facebook. So any of those places, you can catch podcasts. We also there's also a Developreneur channel on YouTube, because we now simultaneously do video and audio.
Oh, cool. We're trying to expand our channel to like, I guess like some of the like audio ones, like Spotify or I guess I don't know, all the other ones, and then I guess some other like video ones as well. Yeah. But for right now, we're just currently on YouTube. But eventually, we'll get to like other, I guess, areas where people can hear us. But yeah.
And you'll find, I think, once you do that, is like once you get into just one of the audio, like if you can get out on Apple Podcasts or something like that, then it's very easy from there to go to all the different other places. There's a lot of ways to, there's a lot of platforms out there to help you put your podcast out there. And once you get going, they feed it to the places that need it, so that wherever people listen to podcasts, they can hear yours as well.
If you think that we could all change the world by doing one thing, what would it be?
I think it's going to sound a little sappy, but I think if we just, I actually just say love each other. It's treating people with respect. But if you treat each other like you care about them and that you have a love for them, then all of those other things fall in place. You're gonna be more respectful. You're gonna be fair. You're gonna be looking out for them. They're gonna be looking out for you, and the world is gonna be, the world is gonna be a better place if we do that.
Exactly, because like what I think that we could all do is what you said, just be kind and love one each other, or each other. I don't know. I sometimes I mess things up when I'm talking, like do stuff, so I just say simple words. But yeah, so I think exactly that we just like love one another because this world is full of food, war, and angry people, That's it.
So everybody just needs to eat more. If everybody just hangs out, and food is a great way to bring people together. If you sit down at a table with somebody, it's hard to be angry with them, especially if it's good food.
Yeah. Especially if it's like really, really good food, because then you're like, honestly, this good food, like any good food just changes my like, I guess like just, I guess attitude, just like, honestly, I'm like, if I get good food, I'm like, this is amazing. I'm happy for like another 12 hours again,
Yes.
But if it's like,
good food could go a long way.
and if it's something like, I don't know, like rotten eggs, I'm like, ugh, now I'm gonna be grumpy for like exactly 2 seconds, Yeah. When you are scared, what is something that helps you feel brave again?
That's a good question. Usually when I'm scared, the first thing I'm going to do is think about why I'm scared. What scares me about it, and sort of look at that. So if it's something like if it was, if I'm scared of a snake or a spider or something like that, or some animal that's there, then I'm going to, like, why am I scared of it? Do I think it's going to hurt me? Do I think it's going to eat me or something like that? And then adjust accordingly. Because sometimes the fears are more about what you're worried about and not what's actually going to happen. So like I could be afraid of, a big bear, but as long as I stay away from it, as long as I'm, it's in a zoo or something like that or somewhere safe, then I don't have to worry about it. So it's just trying to think about it's, I guess people call it facing your fears, but I think if you look at them and you say, okay, why am I afraid? And then you start looking at what are those things that you think could happen, like what's the worst that could happen? Well, it could hurt you. Okay, well, what if it's, how likely is that? And things like that you can start processing it. Now you turn it into something that's, to me, which is what I like, you turn it into a puzzle or a problem to be solved. And since that's my favorite thing to do is solve problems, then it works really well because now you're not afraid anymore. Now you're analyzing it and trying to, fix it or solve the puzzle.
Exactly. I think that's a really good way to like think about it, is to just like, okay, I'm scared of this. Is this gonna hurt me? And if it's like, like if it's like a 50-50, then think, okay, how likely or how like, what would I do to like keep me, from not being gotten, I guess, by that, like whatever it is, for me, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I say, but it's like if you're scared of the dark and you're afraid of it, then one of the things you can do is you can go turn the light on. Those kinds of things that you're like, okay, if I'm worried that there's something in the dark, then I'll turn on a light. And there's a lot of things in life that we're afraid of that we have that option.
Mm-hmm. I feel like for me, the only fear is like maybe my favorite basketball team like losing, and then any insect, rodent, well, not really rodent, but just any insect or any spider, anything that is nasty and looks disgusting. I feel like that, and then maybe Bigfoot. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Wow. That's like Bigfoot's been around a long time. I was scared of him when I was a very young child. I was scared to death of Bigfoot. So, luckily he never got to me, so I survived.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't get me now, because that'd be bad.
But if you do, just have him on your podcast. If you could get Bigfoot on your podcast, that'd be perfect. You're like, hey, guess who my guest is today?
Today we have Bigfoot. We don't know what his last name is. It's just Bigfoot.
Yeah, that'd be your first question. So what is your real name? What is your full name?
He's like, wow. Okay, well, there you heard it, folks.
Heard it here first.
Yeah. Who would have thought his real name is Wah.
Yeah.
Although I one thing that is a bit boring is like going on a hiking trip when like the sun starts to set, and then you just hear that like a sound that just like sets you off. You're like, and I'm like, I do a full aerial 360 around like at least 150 meter like radius. I'm like scanning everywhere. I'm like, hey, what's that behind that tree? I'm like, if I do see like, it doesn't matter if I see like a spider or like literally a world-ending creature. If it's a world-ending creature, I probably just like, all right, bye. If it's a spider, I'm gonna get like a bomb that goes off in like a minute and 30 seconds, get gasoline, surround the spider with gasoline, and just like throw like some flammable thing that's lit and just let the forest explode. It's usually on how most things go. In my home, I just run away and just go in my bed. I'm like, and cover my stuff up. That's usually what I mostly do. I'm like even if it's like a small insect, I'm like, this thing's gonna end our world. There's just something about just insects are so disgusting. I think it's probably just because they're insects. Insects are probably made to be disgusting.
When they get into everything, it's hard to if it's a dog or something big, then you can like shut a door or you can shut the window or whatever. If insects just get in no matter where you go, they're just suddenly they'll show up, and I think that's the worst. And I see them when I really don't want to see them, and I'm like, no, I don't want to see that right now. I don't want to deal with it, but there they are. So makes them annoying.
I know, it's like I'm currently I play like my video games. There's a giant monitor behind my laptop here, and like we'll just have like just a usual fly come in here. I'm probably gonna keep him and like make him my pet. I don't know, something like that. But he always comes in here. I'm like, why do you always follow me in here? So I go turn on the fan, but that thing must have like some new advanced alien technology because not even the fan works. So I'm like. Honestly, at this point, I might as well just get a snack and stop playing. So, yeah. What's the biggest piece of advice that you could give to someone right now?
Well, I think right now, this is part of what my job is. My biggest piece of advice would be, because everybody's all excited about AI and all the things it can do. And then people are scared of it too. There's a lot of people that are afraid of it. And I think the biggest piece of advice would just be that, like, it's just a tool. It really is just another tool to do whatever it is that you want it to do. So it's just like a hammer, it's like a saw, it's like a pencil, it's like a calculator. It's one of those things. And so if you learn how to use the tool right, then you can do well with it. And if it's like a hammer, if you want to take a hammer and hammer a nail, that's great. If you want to go bang your finger with it, then that's not. So you just like everything else, learn how to use the tool and make sure that you're prepared for it, and you'll be ready to go from there.
And exactly, because like I still get like, even just with AI, like I feel like if we're gonna let AI do this and that, let's at least have that one like fail safety plan, where like if the AIs become rogue and turn off like the emergency flip off switch, let's have a button where we can just like nuke at least like the area on where they're all at, and like shut down their computer system. But again, like you said, AI it's a good tool. We just don't want it to get too much advanced to where like it's an actual robot that's just walking downtown. It's like, hi, Mr. ChatGPT, how's your day? And it gives like the most absolute like bot response. Hello, my good sir. How is this lovely afternoon for you? We don't want it to get like escape like it's like little computer section,
Yeah, make sure it's always got to be plugged in. And if it outruns its plug, then it's like too bad. Once you shut the power down, then it doesn't have a problem. Yeah, if you want to not be afraid of where it will go and not so worried about AI going anywhere, is you can go find some stuff on the internet. They have they're working on robots playing soccer, and so they've got some that go out there and they train them to essentially to play soccer, to try to go kick the ball into the net. And it's pretty funny watching them that they haven't figured it out yet. They really struggle with it, so it's a good time.
What? All right, I rolled Doom. See ya, that's it. No, I'm just kidding. I just interviewed this guy who he uses AI as a tool, and there's this one AI, I think Claude Bosch or Claude something, where it literally, if you want, they say, oh yeah, it's just to help you out, like manage your files and do all that. It can access every single like document and file. But it totally won't harm you. It's just, it is just to, help you find documents, and it's not going to delete, like some pictures of your dog that you never want to be deleted. Like, it can never harm you and, start a virus on your computer,
See, you've already figured it out. You like whenever you give something that much power, then you have to worry that it may do something wrong.
Yeah, exactly. If we give AI like actual like body, we're actually doomed, and we're already doomed because there are AIs playing soccer.
But they're not playing it well, so
yeah, true. Maybe we don't have to worry about that. They're just like that kid who has like a learning disability, and it's like, no, kick the ball. No, you don't. No, what? No, you don't eat the ball, Timmy. Timmy, you kick it. You don't eat the ball. So maybe
you have to watch out for AI.
Yeah. And there's also this one apparently that might take over my job. I think a notepad something. Correct me, or I could be wrong on the name, but apparently it might take over my job because it can literally make interviews. So
yes, it's Notebook LM. It will, like, I've played around with it. It's actually really cool. You just give it information and give it a little bit of time, and it will come back and it will create a podcast of it's two different people talking, but it says some stuff really funny. So the voices are great, but then it says stuff like AI. So you'll sit there listening to it, and it'll every so often give you a chuckle because it will say something completely outrageous because it's just not, it's just working off whatever you give it. But it's a really neat thing, and I don't think it's going to take your job anytime soon.
Hopefully, whoever is the creator of Notepad, hopefully they don't make it more advanced than Grok, ChatGPT, Gemini, DeepSeek, and Claude combined, to where it takes over my job. Let's just hope it just gets confused, or it just works off what you give it. Please, Mr. Owner of Notepad, if you're watching this, please do not make it more advanced. Okay, AI is already probably going to take over multiple jobs at like a McDonald's, so people are already starting to lose jobs there. So please don't make my job gone, because I'm not going to know what to do if like an AI takes over my podcast. So please, Mr. Notepad owner, creator guy. What are your personal thoughts on AI? Like, do you think, like, if we give it too much power, is it bad? Or like, what do you think we should do with AI?
I think you just have to know what you're doing when you start working with it. Is that you need to make sure that you're very clear, like you said. Like, if you give it access to everything, then you could end up in trouble. But if you clearly tell it what to do, and it's sort of like it's like just it's very smart at times, but it's also very dumb at times. And so you have to be very clear in what you tell it. And you need to make sure that it's like anything else. If you're telling something to do, if you're trying to make something go faster, if you're trying to run faster, and you've got something that will help you run faster, that's great. But if you're running faster, it causes you to, maybe you don't run right. So the faster you go, the more likely you are to fall on your face. Like if you're running down a hill and you get out of control, AI can do the same thing. And so you end up, if you don't really understand what you're doing beforehand, if you're not really good at doing whatever it is you tell AI to do, AI is not going to do it any better. It's just going to do it faster. So if it breaks, if you do something that breaks, AI is just going to break it quicker, or maybe break it bigger. So you just have to be much more cautious going into it to say, okay, this is what I want to do. I understand it. I know all of the pieces that are involved, and I can explain it to even AI. I can explain to it how to do the process, and then you're okay with it. So I think it's made a lot of progress in the last few months. Even it's moving very quickly, and I think it will change jobs. I think there'll be different. Some jobs will disappear, but new jobs will appear, as has happened in the past. When the internet appeared, there was a lot of the same kinds of things, and so I think it's one of those things that's going to be around, and it will help us. We just have to figure out how it's going to help us first.
Mm-hmm. Well, before we, close to the interview, is there maybe a website where people can find out more about you?
Mm-hmm. I mentioned before, developer.com for my podcast, and for my business side, RB Consulting. Our website is rb-sns.com, and you can reach me, Rob, at rb-sns.com. You can reach me, Rob Broadhead, out on LinkedIn if anybody wants to talk to me. Whether it's about Bigfoot, or whether it's about AI, or whether it's about soccer robots, or whatever it is that you want, your fears, all of that stuff. I am happy to talk with people about it and share and spread the news.
I know a bunch of like kids who grew up like during a period of time that something I'll just say is like 20 feet tall, has sirens. I'm sure like the younger generation probably knows what I'm saying. If you know what I mean. I bet a bunch of people, or like a bunch of kids who grew up like during that time, are gonna come to you and be like, please help me with this thing that I wanted probably to be a surprise for you. Well, as always, we have our very special last bonus question. Are you ready for it?
I am ready for it.
Okay, this is the biggest, the baddest. This is more peakier than a peak of Mount Everest. Now, I don't know what else to say. Are you ready for it?
I don't know if I am now. Maybe I'm a little scared. Go
You
ahead.
sure? All right. Are you a Coke or Dr. Pepper guy?
Oh, I am actually very much a Dr. Pepper guy. I don't drink soda as much the last few years. I've just gotten away from it. But up until a few years ago, I drank Dr. Pepper all the time. As a kid, I would go through liters and liters of Dr. Pepper every day. Mom would complain about it, but still had it. So I've drunk a lot of Dr. Pepper in my life. And Coke's okay, but not really. If I have the choice between the two, it's almost always going to be Dr. Pepper.
Well, I'm pretty sure. I think Coke. I think like around 6 or 7 people voted for it, somewhere around that area of number. I think now with your vote, Dr. Pepper is at like a total of 4 or 3 people voted for it.
Mm,
So Dr. Pepper is currently losing. That's okay.
mm.
Hopefully, as we go on, more people are going to vote for Dr. Pepper. And I've decided to spice things up. Whenever this video comes out, the votes will probably already be out. And then I guess, but it's the first one to get to 10 votes wins. So
Ah,
Dr. Pepper, we need more Doc Peppers. We need more doctors whose name is Pepper.
yep.
Or so if Dr. Pepper wants to win, they have to make a pretty big comeback.
But that'll make for a good race.
Yeah.
You thought Coke was going to win it, and Dr. Pepper storms from behind and wins.
Yeah. Me personally, here's my knock on Dr. Pepper, okay? I find that's a bit too sweet. I like
Mm.
I like a little subtle, just nice, fresh. But I feel like Dr. Pepper, it's just got a bit too more like sweetie flavor to it. So I go for a nice, more subtle, refreshing, carbonated beverage. I guess. Well, I guess they're technically both carbonated, but I think if I had to choose, I would go Coke.
Ah,
But
so,
that's
well,
okay.
we'll see.
That's okay.
Yep.
Hey.
Hey, I'm not going to hold it against you.
Yeah. Well, guys, if you want your opinion to be heard, you can go on to my YouTube page, Leointerviews on YouTube. I have a poll running there where you guys can also vote who wants to win, Coke or Dr. Pepper. So yeah, you guys can also vote there if you guys want your opinion to be heard. Also, I'm trying to get a couple things figured out. I know I said I would have a course coming out. We're having technical problems, okay? So please do not be mad or angry at me. We're trying to figure it out, but yeah.
Oh, cool. Good luck with that.
Oh, thanks. It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too. Thanks a lot, Leo.
Of course. Bye.